You are listening to the Foamy Heads Podcast, where we discuss craft beer and anything else that accompanies a glass.
Foamy Heads are back. Mitch and Rich hanging out today, drinking a weird beer tonight. Yep. But we'll get into that in just a few minutes. We've got a special guest with us. We got Nathan on tonight. What's up, man? Nathan is the creator and head honcho of the Nashville Craft Beer Social Club. Mm-hmm. So he's been putting a whole bunch of stuff together around town. Nathan, what's up, man?
How's it going, guys? I appreciate you having me on.
Heck yeah.
I know we've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah.
Yes. This whole year has been a blur, unfortunately.
Huge blur.
This is the 12 days of Beermas.
Beermas. Yeah. So this was Nathan's brainchild. So the idea was Secret Santa beer swap, basically, right? I mean, everybody get together, grab a few beers, wrap them up, bring them to a brewery, and then we just kind of put them all on a table, went down the way. Well, Nathan, kind of explain to us a little bit how this thing came about, because this has been a fun 12 days.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And a confusing 12 days because people don't know what day it is.
I'm one of those
people. Last couple of years we wanted to do something fun for Christmas, advent calendar type of deal. And it just, you know how everything goes. It goes so fast and we lose track of time. And this year we kind of got ahead of it and, we wanted to do something fun, more engaging for people. And, that somebody had mentioned something about the 12 days of Christmas. So I'm like, perfect. 12 days, instead of doing a full advent calendar, a full 24 advent calendar, which might be, kind of a lot for some people. 12 days is a little easier, a little more approachable for a smaller package of beers. But, having the 10 variety and then the weird beer and the bottle, it just, seemed like a good idea. And it's been a blast. I mean, it's way more fun than I expected it to be, way more engaging than I expected it to be, which has been a lot of fun.
That's the word I was going to say, was engaging, because there's a lot of activity on the Nashville Craft Beer Social Club page, posting where they're at, posting pictures,
which good coordination, by the way.
Yeah.
Post it in the club, you can put it in the chat, but make sure you put it in the club.
Yeah.
What does Facebook call that now? Groups?
Yeah, in the groups, yeah. So, I mean, that was part of the thing too, is, us being a charity is trying to find a way to help us. And, there wasn't really a way to necessarily give back the way we wanted to do this, but the way people were helping us is engagement in the group, is getting people engaged. And, with our event coming up next month, getting people engaged in just the group in general, and people being, it coming up with the algorithms on Facebook, which, messes with everything on Facebook now. It just makes it pop up in people's feeds more. Makes our group pop up in people's feeds more with more engagement. So
I do want to dig into the initial picking day, but we're going to pop open I'm going blank on the word again.
Beer.
Oddball beer.
Oddball beer.
I like that word better than what I'm going to use.
So the concept, the whole 12 days, and then I want to hear Nathan's side as he's talking about getting the day together. The whole concept of the 12 days of Beermas was 10 regular beers, one oddball beer, and then one kind of 500 milliliter really good beer at the end. And so that allows people to get as bougie and as fancy as they want on one end of the spectrum, and allows them to get as wild as they want on the other end of the spectrum. And then kind of everything in between. Nathan kind of hit the nail on the head when he was giving out the description. He was like, just don't pick out 10 IPAs. He was like, get variety, because nobody wants to get 10 of the same beer and then give 10 of the same beer. It's not fun and interesting.
Yeah. Like all IPAs, some people would like that, but you don't have variety.
Get some variety.
And when you learn something new that you like, I think that's a joy in itself.
And for me, like, I always love trying something I've never had. So, I mean, seeing all the varieties of everything that people put in, it's been really cool. You know, and it's really exciting to see, you know, people trying new stuff. So, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. Here's a Labatt Blue Citra, something I've never seen before, a Hoppy Session Lager.
Whoa.
Neither have I. I've only seen the regular blue.
Didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. Is it considered an IPA or is it? You said lager?
Yeah, it's a Hoppy Session Lager.
Michelob, huh?
No,
Labatt.
Oh,
Labatt.
That's interesting. Yeah, Blue Citra.
Pulling that up here. Internet doesn't want to work. Okay, 4.7%, 35 IPUs. A Hoppy Session Lager brewed with Citra and Mosaic hops for fresh, juicy aromas.
Very cool.
Huh. I didn't even know that beer existed.
It's got a lot of check-in.
We've got a Tahine Bowl Goza from Trim Tab. Did I say that right? Tahine?
Yeah.
Tahine?
I think that's right.
I don't even know.
Sounds right, yeah.
I have no idea who got us this beer. No clue. I can't even remember the wrapping, but
we'll put a feeler out into the chat.
Yeah.
Somebody will know. Yeah.
Somebody will know.
Let's see here. Open. I know it's going to be a little early for the chat, but, you know, I'm trying to get the...
All right.
There we go.
Going straight for the can on this one.
Yeah, man.
What do they call that?
Straight to the dome.
Dome.
No bouginess here. No pinkies up. Nathan, go through the first. Go through the event for us. So when we all showed up at Barrique and we all brought our beers, kind of walk us through how that afternoon went.
So I mean, we all brought in our 12 beers. We had our 10 normal picks all set on a table. And then we had the weird beer on a separate round and the bottle on a separate round. And I mean, that was
weird beers.
it was fun and engaging then too. I mean, just people were having fun picking, you know, and we all have our ideas of what somebody might have, but you know, we don't, because you never know. Like, you know, people get stuff from all over the place, so it was pretty interesting to see everything finally open, to see, you know, who gave what. And, I mean, everybody did a really good job. I mean, you know, stuff that was local, stuff that was not local. I mean, I think everybody did a great job of picking out beers.
Yeah.
It helps when we have a pretty good community here of people in the craft beer scene, and everyone knows that you want something new, you want something you haven't had before, and the current group understands that goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's always super fun. Next year's just going to get better, and the year after that, I feel like, especially with Main Street Liquor, just always keeping that floor packed with new beer too.
Yeah.
I'm just always Nashville's just this crazy cool craft beer scene right now, and continuing to be I hope it'll become more of a prominent leader.
I hope.
And I always say we always have something special. We have something very special here, you know, with the craft beer we have, and I mean it's very underrated for what we have here.
Yeah,
and the people too, and the community as a whole. Like when they go into something like this, it's very easy to just say, I'm going to go pick out a 12 pack of this or whatever, and then I'll just give that 12 times to you know, whoever ends up getting it. But like when you're giving 12 beers and you're receiving 12 beers, I feel like the people that were involved in this year actually put some effort and some thought into the beers that they wanted to get. They didn't want to just say, I'm just going to pick something up and send it out and then hope I get something, because they want to be treated the same way that they're treating that person.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
I mean, I really couldn't be happier with, you know, how it's gone. I mean, like I said, you know, seeing, like you said, like everybody put thought into what they put in. I mean, and we had a couple new faces at the pick day, which was pretty cool. People that we had never seen before, never met before, which was really cool.
How many were in it this year?
We had 18 people.
That's a good selection.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And so I was curious. There's some names I don't recognize in the chat, so that's exciting. New people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's so like even when we did the tasting back in January at Cletus Burgers, we had some new faces there, and it's really cool to see that, you know, people that are into craft beer that we don't know, you know, kind of get into the more core community that we have. It's really cool to see that.
Man, we're gonna have to. I may, you know, I wish my car had a fridge in the back because it'd be cool to keep ones cold.
I mean, you can for the next like couple of months.
You know,
throw it in the back seat.
If Pimp My Ride was still a thing, you know, that would be
exhibit in to give you. Let's get into this beer.
All right.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Nathan.
Cheers, Nathan.
Cheers to you, man.
Cheers.
Whoa.
Not bad.
Is it weird?
Yeah. It could be weirder.
You know what though? Hold on, I gotta come down for a second. It's not terrible.
No.
It's not terrible.
I always like Gozas. You know,
Yeah.
They're not overly sour. They're tardy, but they're not like warheads by any means. They're very enjoyable drinks most of the time. Kettle sours and Gozas. So this one has Tajin in it, and Tajin has always been a little limey and a little hot for me. And I don't get a whole bunch of that spicy notes in this, but it goes well with the mango and pineapple. It's very tropical, but with a little savory kind of hit of that spice.
It says a hint of habanero too.
I get no habanero.
No habanero on it whatsoever.
No, I love habaneros, but there's no heat, like nothing in my throat.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah. I was really scared that this thing was going to be like, for some reason, you call it Tajin?
Tajin.
Yeah.
I say things wrong.
I kind of thought that it was going to be more on like for some reason, like a salty side or something.
Oh, I could
like
see that.
This kind of resembles to me kind of like what a margarita.
Yeah, they put it on the rim
beer.
of glasses.
Okay, so that's where I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Then I kind of thought it was going to be something like that, but this isn't. It's not too terrible. I am picking up on a little bit of heat.
Okay.
But I'm sensitive to that in beer. I don't like heat in beer. It's not my thing. Pepper beers. Nathan, somebody had posted on the 12 days of Beermas. There was like a pepper. It was a Fat Orange Cat beer, I think, and it was like a hot pepper or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember who did that one.
Yeah. I can't do that.
Yeah, if it's too much of that capsaicin in it, it's kind of ugly for me. I don't really like it. But there's one hot beer that I think I had 2 orders of, which surprised even me in my stomach. But it's from a brewery that's no longer open. But they did Kelly's Death Pickles. It's a local like hot pickle guy, kind of like their Shane Rogers, and he gave them the pickle juice and the brine from his production, and they had to balance it. I think they did 4 different production runs to get the heat just right for a saison. That was a pickle saison, but habanero.
That was a weird beer.
Yeah,
that was a very weird beer.
It sounds like it'll be pretty complex.
Yeah. It was rough but delicious. Usually, I'm not a big fan of picklebacks, or I like pickles, but I don't care for the drink side of the pickle scene.
Yeah. But I hate pickle beers. I cannot stand them. I will try every single one of them. I will always try every single one of them, but I hate them every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
That Kelly's Death Pickles or whatever, that one was like the right storm of terrible turned good for me. It was weird. It worked. You were okay with it.
It wasn't. I didn't really like it, but it wasn't like one of those so hot and spicy beers that I just couldn't drink it.
Yeah,
I think I ordered a half pour and I might have drank the whole thing. It wasn't my favorite beer by any means, but I'm with Nathan on this. Pickle beers for me but I also don't like pickles.
Yeah,
at all. So pickles, don't like pickle juice, don't like pickles, and it doesn't belong in my beer. But that being said, it's anyone's game.
Do you know Do you remember what we got for the oddball? I'm struggling. It's one I picked, I think. Did we take a picture of our stash?
I'm sure we did. Maybe we can try to find it later.
See, this is something. Next year is going to be better on our side.
Yeah.
We know all the issues.
I remember a lot of the beer. What I can tell you is nobody's posted it yet.
Okay.
Obviously, because that's not coming until Nathan. When we're doing the 12 days, are we doing the oddball beer on the second to last day, or is it on the last
Correct.
day?
Yep. Correct. And then we'll do that. We're doing the bottle on the last day.
Perfect. Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense. Hey, I want to do something real quick. So I want to talk about Nashville Craft Beer Social Club. It's a part of the Nashville community, but it's not just a group of. It is a group of guys that drink beer, and guys and ladies that drink beer. But there's a cause, there's a mission around it. It's not just how much beer can you drink and post it. Nashville Craft Beer Social Club started for a reason, and they do a lot of good in the community and stuff like that. So Nathan, if I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but I want to highlight that a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about where it started and what was the whole thought process and reasoning when you were kind of getting into this?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because me and a buddy actually started it in 2020, beginning of 2020, as kind of a way to find more people to share beer with. And, we kind of had the idea of giving back, but that was kind of a side thought. It wasn't like the initial thought. And then as we started getting more people engaged, we're like, okay, maybe we could do something with this. And then, obviously 2020, we couldn't really do much with COVID. And 2021 is where we started to do the events. We tried to do the events where we could actually try to give back. And that's when we started with the virtual events. Yes. And like I said, the initial thought was, trying to do something with the community, give back somehow with the community. And then when we actually started to do it, it kind of took off, and it just kind of blew our mind, like how quick it kind of took off. I think the last couple of years have been a little slow. It's just the engagement on social media is tough. I mean, as everybody knows, so it kind of holds things back a bit. But even so, for the last 3 years, we've done events on and off. It's been really good. I mean, we've been able to donate some money toward helping feed the homeless in Nashville. The first charity we worked with was a child advocacy center in Middle Tennessee, and we donated almost $10,000 to them.
Wow!
I mean, and that was amazing.
Incredible.
And we're always thinking of new ways we can try to give back to the community. And next year we have some ideas on a little bit different direction that we're going to go. This past year we've been working with Cletus Burgers to help him with his mission to help feed the homeless. And the event we have in January at Cletus Burgers, we're going to do the same thing. Like that money's going to go toward helping him in his mission. But he's got some projects he's going to be working on coming up. So we're still going to work with him in certain ways, but then kind of branch off to do our own sort of giving back. So
awesome.
But me and Stefan, the other admin, we're talking a lot about what we're doing next year and the direction we're going, and I think it's going to be interesting.
I'm excited about it.
I think that so the Cletus event where they brought in breweries and head speakers things like that. That was a blast. And then we did. I seem to remember there was another event at Cletus, because there's been a couple of events at Cletus, Nathan, if I'm not mistaken.
We've done just the one so far.
Just the one with the Craft Beer Social Club. Okay.
At Cletus, yeah.
Gotcha.
That was this mid-year, I think, right? I think it was last year.
We did that in January of 23. Yeah.
Almost a year.
One full calendar.
That's stupid, man, how this year. And to your point about social media, the algorithm. Oh, this is how you beat the algorithm this time. And then you have the people that take that to the extreme and they spin off of that, and then they go, how can we just constantly engage and get more of the pie? And then Facebook turns around and goes, nope. And then they flip it and they go, now you have to do this. And when you're a group like the Nashville Craft Beer Social Club, whose goal really is just to unite a beer community and then give back to the community, like
social media fights against you until you hit that stride of
it's almost like they do 15, it on purpose.
10,000.
Yeah. And it's kind of the way it's set up. Once you hit that mark, it's like it's designed to keep you there. But if you're not hitting that mark, it's designed to keep you from getting to that point.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Even seeing the reach on some of our posts, and it's all about the engagement on the posts, and that was part of the reason for doing this 12 days of Beermas is, having people post and engage in the post so that it pops up in more people's feeds, so that the group in general pops up in people's feeds. I mean, we have over 1,000 people in the group. So, I mean, to have, a reach of 300 or 400 people on a post is great. I mean, that's a good reach for a group of 1,000 people. But, so many posts are getting, 40, 50 people on a reach, which is not much. So I think that's been hard for events because, people aren't seeing the posts. And I can't tell you how many people have said, like, well, I didn't even know that was coming up, or we didn't know that was coming because we never see it.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, Facebook just holding it back.
Yeah, really is. Really is. They really want you to spend that ad money. Huh? It's a tactic. Oof. Yeah, this is better than expected.
I agree. This one was better than expected. I was really, really dreading this beer tonight. And why do I always say this? Every single episode we talk about sours. I always go, it's not going to be my thing. And then every time we have one, but I think you're right. They've always been kettle sours.
Yeah.
Gozas. It's kind of been more on the tart side than the sour side.
Yeah.
It's never been those like real funky beers. No disrespect to any of like the really funky beers that are out there, because it's a process. There's people that love them. It's just not my thing. But kettle sours, gozas, I always go, I'm not going to like it because it's a sour, and then I always end up being surprised at the end. Yeah,
funky beers are my favorite. I'm all about all those, everything. I love it.
I missed out on Embrace the Funk this year, but I got to go next year. And that's the thing to go to.
It is my favorite beer fest. I will never miss it.
I just trying to. How many Rolaids do you have to bring with you to something like Embrace the Funk? Because we're all getting old, right? And we're all getting heartburn. And I'm just trying to. You're just drinking sours all day, funk beers all day.
There's a couple IPAs in there somewhere.
Yeah,
it'll mix it up a little bit.
There's some cuvées. There's some
an IPA to break the sour. We're not doing ourselves any favors here.
You got to eat something pretty good, and you take a little bit of extra fortification.
Yes,
sure. But also with that beer fest, you're getting food too. There's constant food that's included in that. So I mean, you're constantly eating while you're drinking. So I mean, it's a blast. You have to go to it.
It's the best festival in Nashville, in my opinion, and I missed out on it. And people said I should have just came, and showed up, but I missed out. God, what was it? Your beer. I want to hear about your beer.
What was this? Hoppy session lager.
Yeah,
I'm not mad about it. I'm really not mad. It's brewed with Citra and Mosaic hops. It's just a hoppy, clean lager. I'm not mad about it. I would actually sit and drink this.
Heck yeah. It sounds like a nice... I've come to the realization that if anything is hot, I will like it.
It's good. I'm not mad about it being a weird beer.
It's funny. So the past few, 2 years, I'll have a 2-year kind of timeline on my trajectory here. I got into hops. Rich and I are in a similar boat of how we got into IPAs, and we had to be palate wrecked to understand hops in a beer. And mine was, I think, a Hop Slam, and you were 120 minute.
That's 120 minute IPA. Yeah.
So weird how that just knocked us into place for IPAs, but I found out hops after that, and then the Citra, Mosaic, and there's one I'm forgetting that was one of the big three, Moteca, and maybe there's a fourth one that I just kept seeing over and over again. And then there was hop water, and then there was hop tea, and all these other things started coming out. I'm just like, okay, I enjoy that. I like that. I'm going to drink that too. These are kind of pricey though. I might as well spend the money on a hoppy beer instead of a hoppy tea. You know, I keep getting contradictions, but anything hopped I like. So now hopped lagers, hopped pilsners, dry hop pilsners, dry hop lagers.
Big fan of hoppy pilsners.
Yes.
I am a big fan, and that's all you.
Yeah,
that was all you.
That's true. I just kept bringing them in. I've come to the realization: just anything hopped.
Yeah,
I'm in. If for whatever reason, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Hops are magical.
Hops are good, man. Hops are good.
All right, we got a note with this one. We'll know who this is from.
Is that a pontoon?
It is a pontoon. You know who this is?
No, I don't actually.
Oh, Stefan.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, that makes sense.
SGPC.
Yeah, that's Stefan. Yeah.
Yeah, Stefan.
See, I say things wrong all the time.
So speaking of pontoon, when we first started doing the charity events, when we did the virtual events, they actually Sean O'Keefe from Pontoon Brewing matched a $2,500 donation.
Wow!
Because Sean is from Nashville, so he approached us and said that he would match a $2,500 up to a $2,500 donation. So within that first 6 months of us doing the charity events, we donated $8,600 to that child advocacy center.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And now I don't. I'm gonna hit myself if I'm wrong, but I feel like Pontoon closed up shop.
They did, and I think there was recent news. Maybe they're looking for
new ownership, or they're looking for new investment or something like that.
Yeah, they were looking for an investor or something.
Dang. Yeah, I missed out on that news.
Yeah. This one is oh God, I'm really excited to get into this one. Pontoon Brewing Barrel Aged Brownie Batter Blend 3. It's a 2021 base blend, 13.9% Imperial Sweet Stout. Oof.
Those are really good.
Yeah. Have you had this one, Nathan?
I don't know if I've had that one, but I've had other. I think I don't remember which one I've had. I've had one of those before.
We're not the only ones drinking a second beer, though. Have you popped open another one yet?
I haven't. I mean, I've got two open in front of me right now. I got the weird beer I still got my old style. Oh, and just for the record, somebody is going to get a weird beer of this.
Nice.
Which I don't think is weird, but some people might. I don't know.
I feel like it's out of town, so you're not going to see it around here. Mm-hmm. So I'd categorize that as the oddball. Yeah.
I'll drink an old style any day of the week.
Absolutely.
Any day of the week. So Pontoon Brewing Barrel Aged Brownie Batter Blend Base number 3, 13.9% ABV, a blend of 4-year batches of their award-winning brownie batter Imperial Sweet Stout. I'm reading the description. This year's blend took it a step further by including 4 years worth of batches, which led to an incredible layering of flavors, barrel character, and decadent chocolate. Chocolate, dark fruit, and vanilla dominate the aroma, followed by notes of caramel, dark chocolate, caramelized figs, creamy vanilla, light toasted oak, and subtle smoke. That is a lot going on in a beer.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
We've got our Nashville Craft Beer Social Club taster glasses for this one.
Love it.
I appreciate you bringing those every time, by the way.
Yeah. These are doing these actually, I think these two actually came from the 12 days of Beermas when we were passing them out. Because I think, Nathan, you had these at the event.
Yeah. I've had those for a little while.
Here we go. Oh, I can smell that from here. There we go, right there.
I checked in the wrong Tajin bowl.
There's another one.
There's a few of them.
There's another one. So what are some of the things where Nathan, you mentioned next year things are going to be a little bit different? Are they going to be partnering with some of the organizations and the charities in the city? Or are we doing a little bit less of that and kind of you trying to find your own thing that we can commit to? What's the plan without getting into too much? I know you're trying to keep some of it under wraps.
Yeah, we're trying to do more of our own direction. Since we started the actual 501c3 this past year, we're trying to find our own.
By the way,
appreciate that. We had a friend kind of push us into that direction, and I figured I'd file for it, and it went through. So it's pretty cool having that status of that. You know, having the actual name of Nashville Craft Beer Social Club as a 501c3 recognized by the IRS is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty dope.
But yeah, trying to find our own direction instead of, you know, us donating to other charities. You know, we want to do our own thing. So we have some ideas we're looking at. Nothing definite yet, but you know, like I said, the first event of the year, we're going to still work with Cletus since we're having the event with them. But, you know, it'll always be something about giving back to the Nashville community in some way or another. I mean, that's, you know.
I appreciate the tie-in with Cletus because I love what he does and I love his mission. Banging ass smash burgers. I mean, probably the best smash burgers in Nashville, hands down, if not Middle Tennessee.
Super good.
I put Cletus up there with like Brave Idiot hot chicken. So like if somebody goes, hey, you want to go get hot chicken? I go, where would I go? And I go, I want to go to Brave Idiot. Yeah. And I learned my lesson a few times by getting a little too high of a rating, but
too spicy.
Too spicy level. Yeah, I didn't understand what a 7 out of 10 was in like real hot chicken, and it's not something that a almost 40-year-old should mess with. But I love their hot chicken. Yeah, I love it. And for me, Cletus is kind of like the burger equivalent of that because he's always coming up with different smash burgers. Yeah, there's always a new special on the menu. There's always new this. But then on top of that, I like his mission of he wants to feed the homeless. He wants to give back to the community. And then on top of that, every time you walk into Cletus, there's always something on the tap wall that you just have not had before.
That tap wall, it's a massive tap wall for a burger joint.
Yeah. Shane Nasby, he's done a great job at keeping that list rotating, you know, keeping some good local stuff. He's done a really good job with that.
Yeah. And we haven't talked with Shane yet, but we've recorded a couple of times there.
We have. We've shown up and brought our equipment impromptu and just recorded talking beer and local like Nashville things. And we've reached out to him to talk, but life has hit us weird this third and fourth quarter of the year. So, you know, next year for sure, we're going to get in on some Cletus conversations. And I would love to talk more Nashville Craft Beer Social Club in the next year as well, just to, if there's a way we can help in endeavors on social media and elsewhere, we're going to pitch in, you know?
Yeah. We appreciate that. I mean, I'll having all these connections we can have, you know, with the breweries or with you guys, any way to get the you know, the message out and what we're doing. And I mean, everything helps. I mean, we just appreciate everything.
Again, too.
Yeah.
We've got to line that back up because I'm sure the more live shows, not just us that can get in front of people, but there's a few different local beer guys that do all sorts of amazing live music things and whatnot. And just feeding additional craft beer presence would be super beneficial.
And then Richard had to go on and get sick. And the day of, it was like, oh, we want to do this? And I was like, laying up in my hospital bed, be like, I kind of still want to, but I don't think I'm allowed to leave this place right now.
Coming to you live virtually.
Well, we're all glad that you're here right now and you're good. And
yeah, I'm good. I appreciate it. Reschedule will be coming soon for sure.
Yeah. The whole point of that live show is to bring a lot of voice to people that we're excited to work with and maybe help elevate in some way.
Yeah.
So we'll be bringing it back full circle.
I do. This is kind of getting off on a little bit of a rabbit trail, but I appreciate where this show has gone, because this show started out probably before anybody was really like sitting down and talking about beer. Like, we were doing this it's a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
I think we started doing this before COVID even hit. We were just talking about beer, and we did it a little bit, trying to figure out what we wanted to talk about and things like that. And then all of a sudden the world shut down and it brought everybody inside. So we just started talking, and then we figured, let's talk with other people in the community and get their voice. And the show kind of pivoted to, let's get what's on Nathan's mind. Let's get what's on Ryan's mind at Living Waters. And we talk with Proper Sake and Byron and, and we're getting in the heads of the people that push the beer community forward in Nashville. And that's kind of where this show decided to turn to.
Yeah.
And I very much appreciate that.
Man,
that is a damn good beer.
That's definitely got that brownie batter taste to it. There is a little smokiness.
A little bit on the end.
And it's got a boozy heaviness to it too.
That is a 14% beer, and it tastes every bit of it too. It is very heavy.
Stefan knows what's up.
Yeah. Hey Nathan, what has been some of the weirdest beers that you've seen checked in on this 12 days of Beermas so far?
Oh, in general, weird beers.
Yeah, in general, like, because I've seen those green pea looking beers getting checked in. I've seen wild, and I'm not talking about wild ales. I'm talking about wild, like weird beers.
That slime green. What's it called? I haven't went to the festival. What are the ones you got to roll?
Like the slushy beers?
Slushy beers, yes. Like 450 North.
Yeah, the slushy stuff.
Yeah.
See, I mean, you say weird with that, but I think it's great. I don't see that as weird.
It's fair point.
It's weird in the appearance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Because I've seen, I mean, like somebody posted that, and it might have been Stefan. I can't remember. Somebody posted is like, that looks like pea soup or something like that.
That was the beer I had. It was a Drecker. Yep. And Sean Smith commented that. Yeah.
Sean, that is something Sean would totally say as well.
Yeah.
But when I say, weird, I guess is not the right terminology for it. But when I think beer, well, I don't know what to think, because I do like so many different styles, and I appreciate them branching out. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in that.
I see what you're I see what you're saying though. Like, as far as like that Drecker beer that looked like pea soup, it was a salted caramel apple, and it was great. I mean, it tasted just like a caramel apple.
There was never beer to taste like candy I grew up with.
But it's always fascinating to try stuff like that, because it's always amazing that they can do that with a beer. Yeah. All these different flavors, and I mean that's half the fun of trying all these beers is all these crazy flavors they're putting in these beers, and they can nail it. Some of them nail it, some of them don't. I mean, we know there's breweries that don't nail it, but like certain breweries just nail it. Reese Atkinson just posted a couple of beers, those out of order beers, which are awesome. Those are amazing beers, and they're crazy colors, just real thick, like bright, fruity beers.
Yeah, they are.
And this is not something that used to be a thing either, because even when craft beer was in Nashville, like the weirdest you got was Yazoo, and that wasn't really even weird. That was just
funky.
It was just, well, even before they embraced the funk, like just the typical Yazoo beer, Dos Perros, Yazoo Pale Ale. People were like, I thought beer was supposed to be like Miller Lite and Michelob Ultra and Bud Light, and it was like, no, there's this whole other community that you're not used to seeing. But what I think what we're seeing now is just the next evolution of craft beer, is because every single style has kind of been worn out already. So breweries go, how can we be different? So they start combining styles, or they start
push the envelope.
Pushing the envelope. Perfect way to put it. Yeah.
More innovation for newer brews with new textures and different ways to experience. Well, I feel like it's an attack on nostalgia at this point.
But what's cool is you still have the certain breweries that do the basic styles, and we have that in Nashville too that do an awesome job of traditional type beers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love and pretty much any city you go to, you're gonna have the same thing. You're gonna have very traditional breweries. You're gonna have the far out breweries. I mean, like a Pontoon with that beer you're drinking. Something very sweet and boozy like that. Another brewery in Georgia is going to do very traditional styles, or I know there's one that does the German, as can't think of what it's called.
Was it the German chocolate cake from?
The Westbrook. Westbrook does I think Westbrook does the German. Maybe it's not in Georgia.
They do a really good peanut butter stout too. Westbrook. A Mexican cake?
The Mexican cake.
Yeah.
But anyway, anywhere you go, you're going to have that variety of styles, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And you're right. There are still those breweries in Nashville that stick to the traditional style of beers, and they're good at it. It's sometimes you just want to come in and you want to have a lager.
Yeah. You
want a red ale. Sometimes you just want a brown ale.
Beer tasting beer.
Sometimes you want beer tasting beer.
Yeah.
Shout out Panther Creek on that one.
They got a lot of clever names.
Mm-hmm. This has been great, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what everyone else posts for both their oddball and what the final 500 ml is, because this thing was great.
Mm-hmm.
Good experience for it. And
there's 3 days left. I feel like there's 2 days left. 2 days left or 3 days left.
It's the 22nd.
2 days.
Days are gone at this point.
Yeah.
So tonight and then a couple more days. So this one will be going out shortly after the 12 days of Beermas is up.
Yeah.
So this has been fun. Nathan, man, this has been a blast.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we're looking forward to a 2024 in the craft beer world, and partnering a lot with the Nashville Craft Beer Social Club. Appreciate all you guys do, man. Just getting the beer community and the names out there, and spreading good wholesome knowledge and information in a really messed up world right now, because that is exactly what we live in. But when you can get a whole bunch of different personalities together and a whole bunch of different beers, but you're all aligned around the same goal, which is keeping your beer communities open and keep spending your money at those areas, and then just keep pushing, as Nathan said, pushing the envelope of craft beer, it's a win-win all around.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
man, I can't wait for the next 12 days of Beermas. And I have a better plan for next year.
Hey, we might be doing a Christmas in July.
That's right. There's another one in July. Yes.
There might be another one in July. Yep.
This is news to me. I wasn't paying attention. If this has been brought up, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, this is great. We're doing this again in July.
I think so. I think everybody's had fun enough that we can do it again. We can do it twice a year, not just once a year.
I can do 2 12 days instead of 1 25 days, because beer's expensive.
Yeah.
And getting 25 beers for somebody, and it's like, well, but then in turn I have to lug 25 new beers home is also a big thing.
That is kind of big.
But 12 is good. 12 was like a good number. I totally agree with splitting it in half, and I look forward to doing it again.
Drinking in numbers, we've already found out, are not not great. So 12 is a good number.
Nathan, man, cheers to you.
Yeah, keep up the good one.
Take care. Have a good one.
You too.